What is up, trainers? Welcome to a brand new Bros and Badges mini podcast video. Today, we are going to talk about something that I know you are all thinking about, and that is the Pokemon Champions Loop. That's right. The game has been officially released, and now we have all played it. We have all won some battles, lost some battles, and we kind of just want to talk about what that loop looks like as a player. How does it feel to win? How does it feel to lose? And what have we learned along the way? So Zach, as someone who has been playing, and I know you've been going hard in those doubles battles, how have you felt about the Pokemon Champions Loop? Have you noticed anything specifically about it? Are you feeling good about it? I kind of just want to take this time to dive into that brain of yours and figure out, well, what is it exactly?
Well, as you know, Joe, I'm a bit of a loopy guy, so the loop is pretty important to me. But first, let's talk a little about what that loop is. What is the Champions Loop? I think there's actually two different ways to look at it. There's the Champions Loop of what you're actually doing in the game. And as we've seen, if you've played the game, maybe you haven't yet, really the loop is this. You recruit a Pokemon, you go to the kind of like ranch, you talk to that ranch girl, and then she's like, this is your selection of Pokemon. You get 10 Pokemon you get to choose from. You pick one, and then you can choose to either have it on rental or you can permanently keep it, which will cost you 2,500 VP, which is kind of steep, I'll say that. But the game actually does reward you pretty quickly with a lot of different VP options, especially if you're starting out the game. You can do training missions. You can do a lot of things. You can battle. If you win battles, you're going to get VP. And just the daily rewards, daily missions also, you're going to rack up VP pretty quickly. So that's part of the loop. And then, really it's battling. You recruit, you battle, and then you get VP. You train up your Pokemon more, you buy them more items, you get them more Mega Stones, yada, yada, yada. That's kind of the loop. That's what we're actually doing. That's the gameplay. But what is the other loop that we're talking about? And realistically, it's the loss, win, win, loss, 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 win, win, loss, loss, win, lost loop. And I think a lot of people, if they're new to Pokemon VGC, this might be a bit of like a steep learning curve. It is kind of a hard game to wrap your head around. I do think Champions is the best way to start VGC. Like if you're new to it, this is the best way to do it. It's never been simpler, and in some ways it's never been harder, because if you're just getting into it, it's very complicated. But I bring up this like kind of loss win loop because I recently I watched Austin John, and I watched a video of his the other day, and like I'm not kidding, like a few days ago. Well, based on when this comes out, it would probably be like a week ago. But it was like when I was watching it, he dropped this video and he's like, I suck at Pokemon Champions. I'm never playing it again. I'm not kidding. Like that was his video. He was like, I'm just done. I've decided I'm only going to focus on Pokopia and like other content. Like I've realized this game is for chess players and I am a math player. I'm sorry. I like math. I don't like chess. And then no kidding. The very next day he was like, guys, I'm Master Ball rank in Pokemon Champions. I was just like, oh, okay, all right. I don't know how that happened, but that was a whole 180. Anyway, I just thought that was so funny, and it very much encapsulated like how it feels playing this game. Like one day, I'm not kidding, like I'll do like 10 matches. And then I'll be like, okay, cool. Like I won a couple of those, but man, I got like destroyed on so many. and then I'm like, I'm done with this. And I do literally, I like swap and I like start playing Pokopia again. And then I'll be like, you know what? I'm getting that itch. I just want to try one more team. I think the try one more team is kind of the real loop of the game, because if one team isn't cutting it for you, you train them a little bit different. You swap out one or two Pokemon, and then suddenly you have a completely different team that functions completely differently. And that's a really fun part of the loop, is just going in and seeing how that team will do. And sometimes I think I've crafted the perfect team. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna make up for like Dragapult's moves. Like this is gonna help me against Frostlass, like Mega Charizard. Oh no, I've got an answer for that. And then boom, I take it into battle and it means nothing. Like it means nothing. And a lot of it's because suddenly I'm facing a different opponent. Like Basculegion is their main person, or like, you know, like I don't know, like freaking Magikarp's their main person. I know it's not Magikarp. I'm just throwing that out there as a, you know, we can't have not fully evolved Pokemon. No. we can't have not fully evolved Pokemon in this game, which is ridiculous because you also can play as Pikachu. Anyway, whatever, double standards. But yeah, that's kind of the loop that we're talking about. And I don't know, I will say, I just think it's a really fun loop. It is like steep at times because I'm just trying to figure out what the meta is. And as someone who's kind of newer to VGC, it's not even just the meta. I'm like, there's too much meta for me to realize. Realistically, it's like, I'm going to figure out how to do this team well. And I do think like if you can figure out how to do your team well, that's going to make you a better player. Like instead of always like being like, oh, my team sucks, like, I got to get a new team. If you can figure out how to do your team well, I think that's going to make you a lot better player. And you're going to start to see kind of like the trends and like, you know, the ways that you can use your team more competitively. Like maybe just by training up someone's stat and making a Pokemon that you had as a heavy attacker. Like, what if you made them more about speed? Like, what if you use more speed control with that Pokemon? But yeah, I think that like that way of thinking is really what's going to help elevate your team. But Joe, what have you experienced in terms of this like loop? What does the loop of champions look like for you in terms of winning, losing, or playing, or creating teams, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, first off, you said everything exactly what I was thinking of, as usual. My loop is just I lose. That's the only loop. I just lose.
That's a good loop, man.
You know, it's funny. It's a great loop. Hey, listen, I'm still playing. That's the crazy part. You know, playing a game like this is really just, it's one of those things where you're banging your head up against the wall so many times, and sometimes it feels really good, and you're like, I'm gonna keep doing it. You know, I think the fun of it is exactly what you were touching up on, though. The best part of the loop is being able to fine tune your team and kind of min-max in that way, where you're like, you know what, maybe I am utilizing this Pokemon wrong. Like maybe this is what I wanted to see with that Pokemon, but what I'm noticing in battles just isn't reflected in that. So let me go and change this. And then going out there and then snagging a win, or even if it's just a KO to a Mon, you have these little moments where your plan kind of works, and you're like, okay, like I'm getting it. And sometimes your plan working doesn't always mean you win. But it doesn't mean that you leave that match feeling extra salty. Sometimes you know where you messed up. Sometimes it's just, hey, they hit a crit and you weren't ready for that, you know? And I think that's the beauty of Pokemon in general, is just you can plan everything perfectly, but there's always a chance that something happens wrong, or the opposite. Maybe someone hard counters you, but there's always a chance luck could be in your favor. And I think that's what's really fun about the game. You know, so ultimately, no matter how well planned your gameplay is, no matter how good you feel going into a match, there's always a bit of luck involved. And while some people may see that as a little annoying, I think it's part of the magic of Pokemon, and it makes it feel a lot more alive. So if you are having a bad run of luck and, you know, you're getting destroyed out there, don't give up. Keep tuning your team, keep figuring out what you like, and who knows, maybe luck will be on your side, or you'll be like me and you'll just constantly lose. But either way, you know, we're playing the game. This is the loop, and yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world, Zach. I've been really enjoying my time with the game.
Absolutely, man. And hey, I just want to shout this out. If Austin John is watching our content, we want you to keep playing. We don't want you to quit. We don't want you to lose. Also, please, we're really trying to reach you. Your Master Ball rank. So I'm not gonna give away Joe and I's standing, but let's just say we're not there yet. Anyway, so we're gonna continue our loop, whatever that looks like, of winning and losing and really struggling for the goal. But yeah, this is the road to victory, you guys, and we are on it together. So please let us know your experience so far with Pokemon Champions in the comments. Have you experienced a little bit of this loop? What does your loop look like? Are you just winning on repeat and we just look like complete noobs compared to you? I've probably played you in battling so far, and you've just destroyed me with your Charizard Venusaur lineup. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for checking out this podcast. We will be back again tomorrow, so look forward to that. Bros and Badges.